Thousands. How are we going to stop this?
FBI Most Wanted is all new CBS in 2 weeks and streaming on Paramount+.
Winter storm watch in effect for the whole Upper Peninsula, mainly from Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. All complete weather details coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we'll have more from the protesting farmers who took to the state capitol today to voice their displeasure with the Eagle regulations. Plus, we have the latest on the discussions in Marquette focused on turning an old hospital into more housing. And we'll tell you about a new nonprofit's efforts to bring the first wildlife rehabilitation center to the UP. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Wintertime, the last full day of winter is Wednesday, and boy, we're going to get some snow, especially in the afternoon hours here in Marquette. Snow, heavy at times, gusty winds up to 30 to 35 miles an hour. We'll start out okay, but it's going to be a rough go traveling for Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday night. We'll have more details on that snow coming up later in the show. Kevin?
Tom, thank you. Michigan farmers are pushing to ease regulations from the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. Tractors took over the Capitol today as lawmakers heard testimony about the impacts of over-regulation. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more from farmers and representatives about the changes they hope to see.
The House Oversight Committee is focusing on Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. This morning, agriculture workers and business owners from around the state spoke up about negative experiences they've had with the department.
Pretty much every dairy that I know in the state is a family farm. So this affects families and what they can do to put food on their table. Tractors
circled the Capitol while farmers gave testimony about the unfair and inconsistent experiences they'd had with Eagle.
I would assume that the Deagle and the businesses, and I certainly know the American farmer and the Michigan farmer, wants what's best for their stock and the environment. Somewhere there has become quite a disconnect between the regulatory agency and the producers.
One dairy farmer shared a story about receiving a violation for the extra 4-H cows his children were raising on a grass pasture. And a business owner discussed having to downsize in Michigan because of changing regulations and unclear communication from Eagle.
There's no consistency in how they act or how they ask farmers or business owners to abide by the law.
The farmers say they just want consistency and a fair playing field for all farmers and business owners across the state.
It's simply the governor deciding that her department needs to start acting differently than it is.
Some representatives say they don't think new laws are needed to fix the issues. They hope Eagle will change their behavior without lawmakers stepping in. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
The planned development of an old hospital site into new housing in Marquette is one step closer to reality. Our John Truitt attended a city meeting earlier tonight and has more details.
The Marquette Planning Commission met this evening and approved the next step in the development of the old hospital site. The commission approved the developer's initial concept for 40 townhomes to be built on the south side of Magnetic Street between Lee and 4th. Commission Chair Sarah Mittelfeld explains that the commission was here to vote on whether the plan qualifies for a PUD, or planned unit development, typically run by an HOA.
Our job tonight as the Planning Commission was to see if this project met the criteria for PUD, which is outlined in our land development code. And there's some specific criteria, so we walked through those, and we determined that the project did meet at least three of the 10 criteria, and so we did approve the concept plan.
Many residents took part in the public comment section. Viridia's CEO, Robert Mahaney, says the public's input is always taken seriously.
The concerns that were expressed by the public, I think, are well-founded, and a number of them will be addressed as we come out with more detailed plans.
This meeting was a chance for the board to get a first glimpse of Viridia's concept for the site. They envision a mix of townhomes, duplexes, and single-family homes with garages and green space. Mahaney stresses that the project is just beginning.
People need to keep in mind tonight's was, what we were asked to present tonight was a conceptual plan, not a final, well-polished plan.
The board and Veridia will continue to further refine the proposal with more public forums to come. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
A new nonprofit organization is in its first months of planning to create the UP's first facility for wildlife rehabilitation. Our Andrew Hands has more.
Wildlife rehabilitation in the Upper Peninsula is a very busy career, with licensed rehabbers working out of their homes as part-time volunteers.
All of the licensed wildlife rehabbers in the UP are what's considered backyard rehabbers. So all of us are working out of clinical spaces that we've created in our homes as part-time volunteers.
Kyanne Clark has been rehabilitating wild fawns and mammals in Marquette County for 5 years. She began her career opening the Wilson Creek Wildlife Rehabilitation Center in her basement. Now she is looking to make a change in the current state of wildlife rehab in the UP, as many counties in the area don't have a licensed rehabilitator.
When my license came up for renewal last fall, I decided that I wanted to try and do something to address those issues and hopefully make wildlife rehab more sustainable for the UP.
Beginning in February, the Superior Wildlife Rehab and Education Center is a nonprofit corporation. Their overall goal is to build the UP's first ever dedicated wildlife rehab facility, focusing on providing rehab resources to injured and orphaned fawns and other mammals across multiple counties.
We live in an area that has such an abundance of wildlife that if we don't make licensed wildlife rehab sustainable for our area, I fully believe that we won't have any licensed rehabbers here anymore.
The nonprofit plans to allow for fully licensed rehabbers to go from part-time volunteers to full-time employees. In addition, they aim to provide educational programming to the public, as well as training opportunities to foster new rehab positions throughout the UP. Currently in the Upper Peninsula, there are no available options of hands-on training for wildlife rehabilitation.
There is no training at all in the UP. We can get those counties that don't have anybody there licensed and rehabbing, we can get people there for them and get them the resources that they need.
The organization is looking for donations and support from the Marquette, Alger, and Delta counties to bring the project to fruition, hoping for a permanent facility location in Harvey. In Marquette, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
We'll have more information on how to contribute on WZMQ19.com. Superior Central Elementary is raising money for a new playground. WZMQ reporter Samuel McKnight gives us a look at their current playground and what they have planned for the future.
Superior Central Elementary's playground is in need of an upgrade.
Our current playground is 34 years old and doesn't have a lot of the cool features that new playgrounds have, including some of the safety things that are required nowadays.
Last year, the school started raising money through local businesses to build a new one, and now they're reaching out to the community for help.
We have tapped into our local businesses, and we're looking for a little bit more just to reach our goal, because we would really like to have, that awesome playground that our kids deserve.
The new playground will include new safety features and more accessible structures to make sure kids of all ages and abilities can play safely.
Just some more options for those running, jumping sort of things that kids need to do to build endurance and build teamwork, a lot more spaces for our kids to play.
Corpy says the playground is important to the school and the students.
Kids need more time outdoors, unstructured, for them to learn teamwork, to learn problem solving, to learn perseverance. And so we are really focusing on play.
So then kids can have like a stronger childhood and have a nice place to play.
Corby also says she hopes the new playground will benefit the students both in and out of school.
Kids need to get together both at school and out of school and play. So we're hoping this is a community space for playgroups and parents and clubs to gather together for kids to be kids.
Samuel McKnight, WZMQ 19 News, Trenary.
All right, and Superior Central hopes to have construction completed by the end of the summer. Tom DeVecchio has your first morning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, are under fire in Washington, D.C. over the recent bill to keep the government funded and their decision to support it. And the American astronauts who have been stranded at the International Space Station for over 9 months have finally returned home. We'll have the details on their arrival when we come back.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to buy get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go.
3, 2.
For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
For more than 30 years, our community has come through, building affordable homes, making critical repairs, and building ramps for those who need a little help and a little hope. Habitat for Humanity volunteers produce amazing results treasured forever. You could be our next hero. Volunteers are needed to provide affordable housing in Marquette County. Join in, sign up, it's easy. Go to upersunited.com or use the QR code shown here. A public service message of Habitat for Humanity and WZMQ TV19.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis held me back, but now with Skyrizi, I'm all in. Thanks to Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many even achieved 100% clear skin. Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. With Skyrizi, nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi today.
Welcome to Big Boy, where we know you by name. From our mouth-watering burgers to our affordable breakfast and dinner buffets, we've got you covered morning, noon, and night. Enjoy Big Boy's fantastic meals at home with our fast to-go curbside pickup. And for office parties or events, Big Boy is the area's go-to for the best catering service. So when you want clean, affordable, convenient, and delicious, you know the answer is Big Boy, where we know you by name.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
We have winter storm watches in effect for all of the Upper Peninsula. Technically, it begins at 2 a.m. tonight, later tonight, but most of that snow is going to fall mainly Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday night, and it could be heavy at times. Again, the whole Upper Peninsula and actually through most of Wisconsin is under this winter storm watch, which will very likely be upgraded to a warning by early Wednesday morning here. So Wednesday, the last full day of wintertime, and Mother Nature has given us quite a parting gift of winter. Heavy snow at times, up to a foot or more in spots, all said and done by early Thursday morning. So for the kids, going to school should be okay. Cloudy skies, could be some light snow in the spots here, but wind and snow at Marquette area when it comes home they go home in the afternoon. So watch for that. Gusty winds as well. Make sure the kids have the hat, coat, and gloves on them. This will be a heavier wet snow because temperatures will be holding close to freezing here right on through the period, just like the blizzard before. With that heavier wet snow. Comes in during the midday afternoon hours, the majority of it. From Sault Ste. Marie toward the Wisconsin border here along the shores of Lake Michigan, kind of touchy on the snow amounts because it will begin as a rain-snow mix, but eventually it will become all snow, probably by Wednesday evening. Everything else, Marquette westward, all snow. A little sleet or freezing rain could mix in, and the snow will be heavy at times. Even after midnight, things finally diminish in Marquette and will be out of the region by midday tomorrow. And some sun for the rest of Thursday, so might look a little like spring, but not all that snow on the ground. Snowfall amounts by 5 o'clock, 3 to 6 inches here, closer to 6 here from Marquette. So the snow will start quickly and will become heavy. Evening commutes are going to be a rough go. Here are the total amounts here, storm totals. 12, maybe 13 here in Marquette. Covington close to a foot of that heavier wet snow by daybreak on Thursday. So with wind gusts approaching 35 to 45 miles an hour, this will create close to blizzard-like conditions, as you can see here, right on through Wednesday night. So we may not get quite as much snow as the last one, but this one is going to pack quite a wallop. So we'll be wary for that as you get on and plan your day for Wednesday. Like before, the last one, if you don't have to travel, particularly in the afternoon and the evening, you may just want to stay home. Thursday, spring begins, hardly spring-like, cold wind, but not much in the way of precipitation. And temperatures are going to stay, for the most part, chilly into the beginning of next week.
Tom, thank you. Frustration with congressional Democrats is boiling over in Capitol Hill following last week's decision between shutting down the government or agreeing to a Republican funding bill. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports there is some chatter about a primary challenge for a top Democrat.
Since the election, irritation among Democratic voters has been building. They feel members have not pushed back hard enough against the Republicans and the Trump administration. The anger has been mostly directed at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and was heightened after last week's vote on a short-term funding bill. Schumer says there were only bad options for his party on that vote.
My job as leader is to lead the party, and if there's going to be danger in the near future, to protect the party. And I'm proud I did it. I knew I did the right thing, and I knew there'd be some disagreements.
Political scientists say a shutdown would have given the president a lot more power.
They didn't really have a plan of action for what to do in the Senate. They never really thought through the game on this, and that's, as critical as it comes, not just standing up to Trump. I think it's both of those things.
Some prominent Democrats, like House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, are now saying they support Schumer. There's been some chatter around the Hill if Schumer could face a primary challenge.
There's really not a national figure other than someone like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez really waiting in the wings to take over for Chuck Schumer. He is the head of the Democrats. Chuck Schumer is a prodigious fundraiser. That's how you get to be in leadership, by the way. And so I think his seat is safe as long as he wants it.
Political scientists say Republicans are doing well by throwing everything at the Democrats. And the Democrats need to figure out a plan moving forward.
We do have Tim Walz and Bernie Sanders going out to red districts and talking to people and listening to their complaints. And that's really how you do it. This has to be from the ground up. You have to listen to people's concerns. You have to craft an economic message around that. And then you have to sell it to them, because elections are about the future. And until the next election, Democrats really don't have any power.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
2 U.S. astronauts are back on solid ground tonight after spending an unexpectedly long stay abroad, the International Space Station. Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams spent more than 9 months in space. Christiane Benavides is in Clearwater, Florida, with the latest on their journey home.
A high-altitude plane caught these first images of the SpaceX Dragon's freefall back to Earth. Parachutes cut its speed before the capsule splashed down at a gentle 15 miles per hour off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. Back on Earth after 9 months in space, NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, along with another U.S. astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut.
On behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Minutes later, the recovery team began arriving at the splashdown zone, followed by a curious pod of dolphins.
Brace for capsule lift.
The Dragon then hoisted aboard a ship,
Some waves, some thumbs up, and some smiles.
where the crew cheered as they helped Williams and Wilmore out of the capsule.
Ignition.
The pair began their mission back in June, launching into space aboard the first human flight for a Boeing Starliner. They made it to the ISS, but the spacecraft developed propulsion problems and, for safety, left with no one on board. What was supposed to be an 8-day trip became a 9-month stay, the duo orbiting the Earth more than 4,500 times.
I don't think we're stuck up here. We've got food, we've got clothes, we have a ride home in case anything really bad does happen to the International Space Station.
Williams and Wilmore are now undergoing medical evaluations, and NASA says it will be looking closely at how their bodies changed during one of the longest stays aboard the ISS. NASA officials say that extra time enabled Williams to get the spacewalk record for a woman. She and Wilmore also put in nearly 1,000 hours of research, conducting 150 experiments.
And the work we do on the International Space Station benefits the nation, benefits people on Earth, and are the building blocks for going back to the moon and to Mars.
They're now on their way to Houston and expected to meet up with their families in a few days for a homecoming more than 9 months in the making.
Don't go away. Michael Edlum has your sports headlines when we come back.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Mastercraft has been making high-quality doors for over 50 years. Choose from our huge in-stock selection or design your door your way, in-store or on Menards.com. With our wide range of styles and options, you can choose the perfect door for your home. Get this ready-to-paint 6-panel interior pre-hung door for $89.99 after an 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Imagine the hidden gems you'll find. Sweet.
Ribs, please.
Imagine all the dust you'll kick up.
Easy.
Imagine the memories you'll make.
Yeah.
And some you'd like to forget.
Save on the best-selling Tacoma and lease this well-equipped 25 Tacoma TRD Sport for $369 a month. Or you can get 4.99 APR financing on Tacoma.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Buckle's Party Store, it's where the party starts in Calumet with an awesome beer selection featuring domestic, foreign, and craft brewed beer, a great selection of wine, just about any kind of liquor you want, and a great range of tobacco products. Buckle's Party Store in Calumet, it's where the party starts for everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Girls high school basketball quarterfinals on the docket tonight. We will start in Division 4, where the number 1 St. Ignace Saints from the last UPSSA Division 4 poll took on number 2 Ewan Trout Creek. Actually, I think they were tied in the last poll. So let's go to Gladstone High School. Both teams were tied, yes, for first place. St. Ignace was number 1 in the Associated Press. The Panthers were 4th. Inside, a good start for Ireland McGeeshik, scoring with the left hand. Now here's a new inbound play ETC invented tonight. Michaela Basil has the pass deflected by Avery Visnot, no problem. Basil picks it up, goes all the way in for the layup, and a 4-0 lead for the Panthers. She had 8 points. Down 5 points, it took St. Ignace 4 minutes to score a 2-point basket. Freshman Katie Halberg grabbed the pass and knocked it in, plus the foul, made the free throw. Panthers up 6-4. Speaking of freshmen, here comes Bree Bessinen for ETC, driving, waiting, resuming, and scoring. 8-3 Panthers. Then Bree Bessinen shows she has range from deep, using a McGeeshik screen coming up right here. Launches, fires, and scores. 11-4 Ewan Trout Creek. Saints finally get the ball in the hands of Jillian Frazier, their star player. She will sink this shot plus the foul. Did miss the free throw. ETC led 13-6 after 8 minutes. Frazier only scored 8 tonight to the second. Bree Bessinen may not be very tall, but she's not afraid of the tall trees. She had 15. Panthers up 15-6. St. Ignace back inside, no for Frazier, but Addison Cullen makes the putback plus the foul. She made the free throw. 15-9, both Cullen sisters had 8 points. Then Emma Bessinen, Michaela Basil. Inside the Ireland McGeeshik gets control. Oh, that's a deflate gate bounce from Tom Brady right there if I ever saw one. 19-11 ETC, end of the half. Bree Bessinen will drive. No, but McGeeshik will get the putback. She led everybody with 19 points. Ewan Trout Creek a 23-12 lead. They go on to win 47-37. ETC gets the Concord Yellow Jackets next in the semifinal. My mom's native community defeated Byron Center Zion Christian 54-26. That semifinal is Thursday at 5:30 at Michigan State. Let's go to Division 3 and Manistee High School. Calumet in the white against Sanford Meridian. Bailey Strong with a steal early, dashes down court, lets Jackie Keelan finish, and the Copper Kings have a 2-0 lead. Next, Kiersey Johnson, Allison Bajorn, Jess Anderson, Jackie Keelan, and Bailey Strom will take care of business from there. You know the starting lineup. It's 5-1 Calumet. Timeout Mustangs after 5.5 minutes. Then Bjorn will float to the corner, and she will get the pass and swish that jumper 7-1 blue and gray. Senior Halen McLaughlin sinks the quick jumper to get Sanford Meridian going. In fact, she had 3 baskets in the first quarter for the Mustangs. And there's Halen's basket. But at the end of the quarter, Billy Locust will can one from 3-point land. Calumet had a nice lead at that point, and the Copper Kings go on to win 48-33. Calumet will face Rochester Hills Lutheran Northwest in the very first semifinal in D3 Thursday at noon at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. Lutheran Northwest beat Sandusky 35-19. Division II, we head to Sheboygan High School. Frankenmuth in red against Gladstone. Eva Panconian in the corner will get things started, get the assist to Lily Johnson, 3-0 Gladstone. Then Alexa Watoon, Panconian, off Lily Johnson to Addie Blowers for the layup, and Gladstone now has a 5-2 advantage. For the Eagles, the outside shot will be off the mark, but nobody boxes out Claire Councilman. Easy put back for her. Gladstone still up 5-4. Next, purple and white possession. Alexa Watoon is patient, waits for Lily Johnson to get open. She does, she scores. Gladstone ahead 7-4. A short time later, Watoon's pass is deflected, but Johnson will corral that, turns and gets an incredible bounce off the rim to get that one to go 9-4 Braves. Frankenmuth's turn inbound to Rosemary Brenner over to Izzy Bernthal for 2 plus the foul. The Eagles would take a 2-point lead on a 3-pointer by Lucy Councilman from her sister Claire. Gladstone's season unfortunately comes to a close. Frankenmuth pulled away and won by the score of 56-36. Turning to college basketball, if we could. Lake Superior State, number 2 in the Midwest region, down in Springfield, Illinois. They get to take on number 4 Missouri St. Louis. The Tritons beat the top seed in the semifinal, and that was Missouri S&T. So to Illinois Springfield we go. Second half, long pass to Kingsley Perkins. Oh, blocked, but he makes the putback. And Lake State is up 35-32. Tritons held a 4-point lead for a minute or so. Then Hunter Soper, Adam Harricow is going to get the pass right there. He says 3-point land is still good for me. Lake State back within 43-42. Tyson Edmondson will miss a 3. That hasn't happened much this week, but Kingsley Perkins snags the rebound and scores. Lakers in front 47-45. Under the theory that shooters must shoot, Edmondson tries again from behind the arc. Yes, and it's 50-45 as we get beyond the halfway point of the second half. 6-point lead with less than 3 minutes remaining. Devin Womack makes it an 8-point advantage with a nice drive here. Then Edmondson with what we will call the Dagger 3, a 10-point lead. Lake Superior State is headed to the Elite 8 with a 75-62 win over Missouri St. Louis. Head coach Steve Hettinga is in his 18th season with the Lakers. So now it's Lake State defeating the Tritons, showing once again how strong the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference has been this season. Turning to lacrosse for the second consecutive week and third time this season, NMU sophomore forward Josie Lakoski has earned GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week, and she's also the co-offensive player of the week by the Intercollegiate Women's Lacrosse Association. She had 7 goals and 6 assists, smashing all kinds of records for 10 points in the 20-9 victory over Lewis. Red Wings lose to Washington by the score of 4-1, and we will be right back.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show. Who is this?
My head of security.
Gabriel Iglesias rolls up with his entourage.
Vinny is a rescue.
Oh.
I rescued him from my previous relationship.
Plus, you don't turn anyone away. A doctor giving more than medical care.
You got to be part of the community.
That's awesome.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book?
Covenant Books is an author-friendly publisher who shares your passion and beliefs. Call us today and we'll send you a free author packet to help get you started.
Call the number right now for your free writer's guide.
This is extreme crime.
To catch him, they'll use every trick in the book.
We were operating against ghosts. Ghosts are tough to find.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
This is home for CBS, WZMQ 19.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
The Window Store Home Improvement Center is your clear choice for quality products and expert installation. We have a thorough and seamless process, start to finish. From the moment you meet our friendly staff, you'll be amazed by their attention to detail. Our team of experienced professionals take pride in their work, and with our 2-year warranty on all installations, you'll have peace of mind knowing your investment is protected. Plus, we service the entire Upper Peninsula. Your clear choice is the Window Store.
Well, Futurecast showing tomorrow morning should be okay for commutes and heading to school, but coming home in the afternoon could be a different story. Snow will come in heavy at times as a big storm system comes in. A little rain-snow mix along the Lake Michigan border here. And the snow will continue heavy at times, diminishing finally by midnight Marquette West, and should be out of the whole region by Thursday midday out of Sault Ste. Marie. Snowfall amounts by the end of the day on Wednesday could be 3 to 6 here from Marquette toward Covington, lesser amounts off toward the east. And then storm totals will be pretty much close to a foot, maybe a little more from Marquette West, and probably about 3 to 5 for those of you McMillan towards Sault Ste. Marie. Add to that gusty winds, which will gust up 35 to 45 miles an hour, and you'll be having your blizzard-like conditions for Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday evening. Travel not recommended if you don't have to go out. Kevin, back to you.
Tom, thanks again. And finally tonight, workers in Japan are expected to take just 6 hours to assemble the world's first 3D printed train station this month. The station structure measures roughly 108 square feet. According to West Japan Railway, it will be located about 60 miles south of Osaka. It will replace a weathered wooden complex at Hatsushima Station. Structural components will be prefabricated with 3D printed technology before they are ferried to the site where they will be assembled. Work will begin after the last train runs on March 25th. Feel comfortable on a 3D printed train station, Mike?
Well, it's not very big. I think it'll be okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
'19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Instant games from the Michigan Lottery. With dozens of games to choose from and millions of dollars in prizes, it's instant fun for everyone. Play $6 million